Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. On this Wednesday, the very first day of November, it is almost a wrap. Before we start with tonight's topic, let you know about the forecast for today. Um, it is November the 1st of 2023. The sun is in Scorpio. The moon went into Cancer late this afternoon. It's a 9 universal month, a 1 universal day, a one universal week, and a 1 universal day. So for those that are Leos and Aquariuses and Aries, or if you're born on the 1st or the 4th, the 10th or the 13th, the 19th, the 22nd, 28th, and 31st of the month, well, this should be a pretty good day for you. Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. So please like, share, and subscribe. I need to put and get your thumbs up because my moderators on Monday and Wednesday always say get your thumbs up. So get the thumbs up, please. Somebody, I think I questioned it and they said, well, it's for the algorithm. So whoever that is, I'm only joking with that. But anyway, and it's important, this show or myself, Lloyd Strayhorn, will never DM you for money. If you get something saying that, I'll do this and pay some money, it is not my show. I don't do that. I like sleeping good at night. Okay. So anyway, with that said, let me get this straight. Let me get this off. Hi, everybody. Good evening. This is actually from last week. Last week, I did a thing on marriages and parenting and childbirths. So some people have asked questions about finding this soulmate, how to find the Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. And there are a couple of rules. Now, mine is not scientific in that sense, but metaphysically, the laws of attraction seem to work in terms of how I see it. So, for example, with last week, I showed this couple here that broke the record. They're in Arkansas. They've been married 84 years and counting. I would love to get their birthdays. They've got to have some synergy. And don't forget, this was back in the day before there was these astrologers and internets and all that stuff. They, went by the vows of marriage as it was at that point. But this is an example of a couple. Now, this is way out of the ordinary. 84 years, but it shows you it can be done if you get the right spouse. So what do I mean? Well, let me tell you how my experience is and how I came up with the conclusions. The month that you're born and the months that are friendly to you in that birthday, and we're going to get to everybody today, your birth number and your sign. Those represent the physical attraction. And how I got this is from ladies. The overwhelming majority of my clientele are women. So my mother always taught me a woman likes a man that pays attention. So in paying attention, I noticed that when women selected men that were very friendly to them or attracted to them, they had one thing mostly in common. They came out of one of their best months during the year. That's the physical attractions. I once had a CD, and I might re-release it, where I says, why is you can meet a person for the first time and feel very comfortable as if you've known them. And then why you can meet another person for the first time and you're just not feeling them at all, no matter how you try, okay? So that's one thing. But then I discovered that it's the date of birth that represents the mental attractions. So it's one thing to be physically attracted to another person, but it's a whole nother thing to be mentally on the same page with that person. I found that comes from the date of birth. And you will get, I'm going to give you a good example of this. For those of you who have submitting their names and birthdays, because relationships seem to be a big question, as even it's actually eclipsing finances, because romance is very important, or relationships are very important. I put together a little chart to show you the metaphysical laws of attraction, how it is basically done. And then I'm going to merge with you my experiences and share them. So this is the first thing I want to show you on the screen as you see this. This deals with the metaphysical laws of attraction. Okay. So I always start with the sign. The sign you represents the physical. So for fire signs, Aries, Leos, Sagittarius. Why they all fire? All earth signs are Taurus and Virgo, Capricorns. The air signs are all Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius. And water signs, of course, are Cancer, Water, and Pisces. So, for example, let's start with water. If you take Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Williams in Chicago, he and Carolyn, um, he is a Cancer, she is a Scorpio. So they are both under the same physical attractions, as so to speak, because they're both water signs. All right. However, there are exceptions. Fire sign complements air signs, and earth signs complement water signs. You can keep that in mind. So, an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius can get along well with a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Right now, I know an Aquarius and an Aries that are hot for each other. Okay. I think they're going to get married next year. All right. I told them already, send me the invitation. Then, likewise, you will find that earth sign being attracted to a water sign. So these are now, but then there are always exceptions to the rule, such as a fire sign marrying a water sign. I'm going to explain all that in a minute. Then there is the mental attractions, because it's the numbers that represent how you are mentally connecting. So as you women say, when you're having a bad hair day, can we communicate? Well, there are fire numbers, earth, air, and water numbers as well. All the fire numbers are ones, threes, and nines. The earth numbers are the sixes and the eights. The air numbers are the 4 and the 5, and the water numbers are the 2 and the 7. So likewise, the fire numbers go well with the air numbers. The earth numbers go well with the water numbers. So once you know that, this is what makes for exceptions to the rule in terms of harmony that you have with one another. So now, again, there are always exceptions. So one will say, now, see, when I got into astrology, for example, there's this famous couple. One is a fire sign, one is a water sign. Now, before I got into numerology, I would say, no, 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 no. Fire, water puts out fire. It makes steam, things of that nature. But there are always exceptions to the rule. And once I got into numerology, it explained quite a bit. So don't forget, the month you were born by sign and whatever the element that governs that sign would be very friendly to the respective elements. So all fire signs are related to the fire signs. Then the next best group, if they can't get their fire elements, would be the air elements. And conversely, the earth signs would do well with all other earth signs, such as a Taurus and a Virgo. That's an earth combination. But they can also get together with water, because earth and fire, when I see, earth and water, I call that a nurturing kind of relationship. When I see fire and air, I call that a kind of a passionate relationship, because when that's why they'll tell you, if there's a fire in the house, the one thing you don't do is open up those doors and windows, because fire just like really start growing. So thus, when you hear about those California fires, what is normally controlling it? The wind. And once the wind comes down, then the firemen have control over controlling the fires. But they all the elements bring to it its own entity. One of them, for example, that I always like to stress is about Angela Bassett and her husband, Courtney Vance. Angela Bassett is a Leo. Courtney Vance is a Pisces. Now, if you know your astrology, you will know right away that, well, she's fire, he's water, and yet they married on October the 12th of 1997 and been married for 26 years. Okay? How can that be? And have I just been strictly into astrology, I would say, this probably not going to work. But then once I got into numerology, I began to see the exceptions to the rule. So some of you may say, well, I'm fire and this person is water. I'm air and this person is, earth. And so, but it all depends, because the date of birth, I notice, modifies the nature of that zodiac sign. So for example, Angela Bassett is a fire sign with a water number. Courtney Vance, her husband, is a water sign, but with a fire number. So his fire number is relating to her fire sign, her water number is relating to his water sign. And this is why I start calling what I do astronumerology, to bring and understand those exceptions that go to the rule. Now, there's another factor that I didn't consider also, is the power of your name. Your name has a lot to do. In fact, Shakespeare once says, what's in the name? The response is everything. But your name denotes your natural talents, your gifts, your skills and abilities. So let's say under the Chaldean system, a person's name, like we'll take Ralph or Paul, that name numerically adds up to a number 9, all right? Or if we take the name Jennifer, that adds up under the Chaldean system to a number 5. Well, because the numbers are ruled by the planets that govern the sign, so a person like a Ralph or Paul would easily attract anyone to him born under the signs of, since 9 is governed by Mars, that means Aries and Scorpio, in a minor way Leo. And in fact, my best friend Paul, his dad was a Scorpio. Okay. So in the case of myself, Lloyd, which is a 9, my father was an Aries. My brother is a Scorpio. So there are a lot of things that have to be taken into consideration. So it's not about just jumping right into it as so much as understanding what's going on. But the exceptions, again, is as this couple here that's been together for 26 years, they have a twin. This is their wedding day on October the 12th of 1997. And after that, she went and made the movie How Stella Got Her Groove. That was very popular. Also, there is a book that they wrote called Friends, Lover's Stories. So I'm going to be talking about that in a minute. But in the meantime, though, this is what it is. So I'm going to be taking your questions, finding out how you read. But before I do that, now let me explain. All number 1 people, that is, of those of you who are born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of the month, or astrologically, if you come under the signs of Aquarius, Leo's first, Aquarius, and then in a minor way, Aries. Well, their best months normally with people tend to be in the months of February, April, August, and in a minor way, November. But those 4 months that people born under one of those dates or signs tend to have their best friends. For example, when I'm reading a client, I'll say, well, what is your best friend? 9 times out of 10, the person's best friend is born in either one of their months, and especially on one of their dates. That means not only are they feeling comfortable with each other when they see each other, but they're also mentally on the same page where they can talk and talk and talk. Okay. That's how it is. Now, people have gotten married for several reasons. I have a client, for example, she married, I think 4 or 5 times, and she said one of them was for the sex. She was very, very real. She kept it real. But that's not going to be the main thing. I mean, of course, it's one of the major ingredients is to make things work. But if she just got married for that, and sure enough, that didn't last. I guess once the novelty wore off, they went somewhere else. But that is the thing. However, for people that are born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th, or under the sign of Leo, Aquarius, or Aries, the more problematic months come from them. If friends tend to come out of the months of January, May, and October. All right. Numerically, with number 1s, that would mean anybody born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month. So please take some notes. Have a pen and paper. I should have said that at the beginning. And so you'll find that conversely, people that are born on the 6th or the 8th, such as the 6th, the 8th, the 15th, the 17th, the 24th, the 26th of the month. Now, you got to understand, a person may say, well, I'm a number 1 and I'm married to a number 6 or 8, but your name may add numerically to the number 6 or 8. So there's a lot of little things. So I'm painting what is called a broad brush stroke, okay? But to get specifics, you need to go to professionals like Simon and Jazz Aphrodite and Brother Rebels Bay and Brandon Smith and a whole lot of other people that I know who do this for a living professionally to help you understand. Now, what about those that are born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th of the month? Well, your best friends or best months tend to always be in March, May, July, and October. So people who tend to come out of that will probably be your best friends or people that you will attract, because the months represents the physical attractions that we have for each other. And thank you, ladies, for giving me that clue. When I would talk to you and they would meet a person and the guy was hot or something like that, when I asked the birthday, it came out of one of their months. Or the person is born on a date such as the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th of the month, or it's interchangeable numbers, which are the 1 and 4, because the 2 and 7 rules the sun, the moon rather, and the 1 and 4 rules the sun. So this is a sun-moon combination. On the reverse side, the months of people who tend to be friends or whatever come out of January, April, and November tend to be a little bit more problematic to them in relationships. Number 3 people, well, if you're born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month, or astrologically under the signs of Pisces or Sagittarius, your best friends or best mates or best Mr. or Mr. Right will tend to come out of the months of March and May, October and December, all born on a date that's the 3rd, the 6th, the 12th, or the 15th, the 21st, or the 30th, the 21st, or the 30th, the 24th, or the 30th of the month. All right. Those would be the dates that would be very important to them. On the reverse side, though, people who tend to come out of February and June and August and September tend to be a little bit more stressful to people like that. And this will explain why we select our friends. And because we don't think, we just get along with this person, we get along with that person, and we're not thinking about the energies that relates to your astrological sign by the month you're born or the number of the birth that you're born under, because the birth will modify it. So, for example, you will have a sign and a number. I'll get that, but let me stay focused a second. For the four people, those that are born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month, they are normally drawn to their best months in which they find people that they're most comfortable with, even people that they marry or get engaged or have relationship with, tend to come out of the months of February, June, August, and September, all on a date that adds up to the 1st or the 4th, the 10th or the 13th, the 19th, the 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month. On the reverse side of that, friends, if you want to call it that, they will tend to kind of like, I can take it or leave it, will tend to come out of the months of January, May, or October, or on a date such as the 6th or the 8th, the 15th, the 17th, the 24th, or the 26th of the month. They're going to always be exceptions. For those of you who are listening and viewing this, you might say, well, I'm this sign and this number, and we supposed ain't going, but we kicking it. I'm telling you, it's a lot to it. And I'm trying to kind of give you an idea that physically, when you're drawn to each other, it's normally those months that are friendly to your number or your sign. Mentally, which is most important, when you're on the same page where you can communicate, well, that comes from the date of birth. All right. So with that being said, people that are born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month, well, your best times of the year tends to come out of February, June, and September in particular, and especially if people are born on those dates that add up to the 5, like the 5th, 14th, 23rd of the month. Okay. On the reverse side of the coins, if you got friends, but you find them like, I could take it or really leave it, I really don't need you in my space, more than likely they're coming out of the months of January, March, or December. Or this will explain why one brother can't get along with one sister, why one parent can't get along with their child. I'm telling you, I've done this too long. I've had too much experience with this. I read a person the other day and I was saying, well, you and your mother are not on the same page. I got to be careful with my words, because I can't say, well, you and your mother be like, but almost always I'll get a confirmation that that's true. They can't help it. They really can't. The mother who gives birth, the father who is there for the birth, and the children that are born to these parents, it's no fault. But to me, the power is the power of understanding. Oh, that's why we are not on the same page. That's why things can be a little bit better. It's those kinds of things that makes all the difference in the world. So number 6 people, for those of you who are born, and by the way, with number 5, that means Virgos and Geminis, can't leave them out either. For number 6 people, if you're born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th, or if by astrological constellation, you come under the signs of Taurus or Libra, well, your best times also seem to be around March and May, followed by October and December, and especially on dates such as the 3rd, the 6th, the 12th, the 15th, the 21st, the 24th, or the 30th of any month. However, you will find as a number 6 that the major number of your sign is 4, which means that to a degree, the months of February and August, or all dates such as the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month, those will be more challenging times, or you find out while you try to be friends and you're just not getting along, or in relationships when you're trying to find Mr. or Mrs. Right, that may explain some of it. It is a little bit more to it. I'm just being very general, but in the way trying to give you this understanding, because you got to take into consideration the name too, because it is the name that draws the birthday to the person. Your birthday is often drawn to a person's name because the name denotes, again, your talents, gifts, skills, abilities. And so think of the birthday as the pupil, but the name that you're dealing with is the name of the teacher. And therefore, certain signs will be drawn to certain names, and they will find in their experience that these names will often, when they say if they go separate ways, will wind up saying, I learned a lot from being with so and so and so and so and so and so. All righty. So the number 7, people born on the 7th, the 16th, or 25th of the month, normally their best times are always in March, around late June into July, and July into August. Or the person will be born on a date that adds up to the 2nd or the 7th, or the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th. Now, for those who understand, the 1s and 4s are the sun numbers, the 2s and 7s are the moon numbers, and sometimes they will interplay. So you will have a 7 person being very attracted to a 4 person. Well, it's because 7 is ruled by the moon and the number 4 is ruled by the sun. So there's a sun-moon relationship. Having the understanding of astrology and whatnot helps a lot. And it's really helped me a lot, help the many, many people that I've been reading over the decades of doing this. All righty. On the reverse side, those numbers under the 8 and 9, such as January, April, and a minor way, November, will be somewhat challenging or stressful, and especially if that person is born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th of the month. Then the number 8, that is those of you who are born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. Your best friends and best potentials to find a lover or mate or Mr. or Mrs. Right will tend to come out of the months of January, March, May, October, and in a minor way, the month of December. Or they will be born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th, followed by the 6th, the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month. They will be the ones that you find that are very closest to you. All righty. And in fact, on the reverse side of that coin, those who come out of the months of February and June and September and August will tend to be not as friendly as you would like. Or if you have any problems, they will probably be coming under those situations too. Or they will be born on the 4th or the 5th, the 13th or the 14th, the 22nd or the 23rd or the 31st of the month. All righty. Again, this explains why we can meet a person for the first time and we feel very comfortable with them. We meet another person for the first time. They didn't say nothing, but we're just not feeling them because we all give off our energy, or aura, a force field. Okay. And they have people that are trained in auras where you can actually see your auras and whatnot. Quillian photography is one of them. You can put your hands there and you can see the rainbow of colors and stuff from because we all emanate an energy. Okay. So finally, the number 9, if you are born, by the way, with 8s, that rules Capricorns, Aquarius, and the minor way Librans for number 8. So if you are under number 8 or under Capricorn, especially that governs 8, Aquarius was originally ruled by Saturn, which was 8, and Libra, which has its exaltation, which is an astrological indicator. Anyway, Number 9, if you're born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month, or coming under the signs of Aries and Scorpio, and a minor way Leo, your best buddies tend to be around April and May, October and November. And especially if those dates are the 6th and the 9th, the 15th and the 18th, the 24th, the 27th of the month. On the reverse side, one of the major opposition to the number 9 and Aries and Scorpio is always the month of late June into July. Now, let me give you an example of a contradiction, so to speak. Marvin Gaye, the singer, was born on April the 2nd. Okay. He's an Aries sign with a fire. He's an Aries 2 person. So he's a fire sign with a water number. So that means that this would create a bipolar situation. Give you a reverse of that, which is Wendy Williams, the radio or TV show host. She was born July 18th. She's a water sign with a fire number. So there's a lot of things that adds to it. So it's like putting all these 12 signs together, all these 9 numbers together, and spinning a wheel, and it comes up a almost endless variety of numbers. Okay, so that's why if you play the lottery, the numbers only go basically from 1 to 9. But if you don't get those right numbers in the right order, you're not getting nothing up in that piece. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So anyway, before I get to our comments, let me tell you, I want to this book. You should read this book. It's by Courtney Vance and Angela Bassett. It's called Friends. Okay, and what happens is that's how they started out as friends. In fact, this is the book that's available for you on Amazon. Pick up the book. I want to read a couple of things from you. Read from their book. It's a 400-page book. I'm just going to hit some of the bullets. I'm making it, and maybe this is why they have had their relationship for 24 years. It's the chapter 24, Lessons from Our Road Less Traveled. Advice for singles. This is their advice. And what happens is they'll give a bullet point, and then Angela will say her piece, Courtney will say her piece. But this is the main thing. If your relationships aren't going well, or if you keep having the same experiences over and over, rather than trying to change your partner, focus your attention on the plans God has for your life. Let him do the changing, beginning with you. Okay? A next bullet that says, don't be afraid to spend time not being in a relationship, dating, or having sex. And sometimes this culture thinks that sex is everything. A lot of things are sexualized, especially our women and little girls too. You know what I'm saying? So this may explain some of the increased pedophilia and all this other nonsense that's going on up in here. And so, but it says, don't be afraid to spend time not being alone, being in a relationship, because you're not, it's no problem. And Angela gives her piece, Courtney gives her piece. Then the next one is, don't just live or have children together, commit to getting married. And let me give you this. So for those of you with short memories, that's exactly what this couple did. They obviously committed to getting married, and more importantly, folks, staying married. All righty. Another one that says, before you get married, make sure you find out if you or your love share similar values, dreams, and desires. The character of the person you adore is not going to change. This is why it is very important to allow God to bring us our mate. For according to scripture, O Lord, I know the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man who walks to direct his own steps. Taken from Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 23. Okay, these are their quotes. Okay, advice for married people. For those of you who are married now, okay, they got the singles, now they deal with the married. Always honor and respect your husband or wife. Remember, your mate is God's child just as you are. Don't that seem so simple, folks? I don't know why we get things complicated nowadays. Now, here's another advice. In the beginning, make a decision that divorce is not an option. Let me repeat that line one more time, folks. In the beginning, make a decision that divorce is not an option. If you cannot take this kind of stand for your marriage with your husband or wife up front in your relationships, the odds are your union won't last. So Just that first part of that in the beginning. Make a decision that divorce is not an option. And nowadays, what do they think? People in the signing prenups and whatnot. So I think this is why they started out as friends and then took it to a whole nother level. Another thing is stick with God's divine order for the family. Place God first, your spouse, second, your children, third, work, fourth, and yourself is the fifth. Okay? That is the order of it, placing God first. Then it says romance and do special things for each other throughout your marriage. I try to tell couples this. You know, we go through this courtship ritual, right? And so finally we get married. But when you get married, that's when the work really begins. Kid you not. It ain't like, okay, I wrote the sister, I wrote the brother, and I don't have to do nothing up in here. I did what I was supposed to do. If you're going to do and be successful with this in any relationship, especially on a marital level, you got to get serious and you got to put in the work. Yes, there's a lot of fun. Yes, there's going to be some drama too. Don't think that couple that I put up there, married 84 years, didn't work each other's nerves on this day or this year or that year or for months. You never know. But the point is, there's something that bound them together. And maybe one of these rules is another one is God does not need a co-pilot to tell him what to do. Figure out what he wants you to do in your marriage and just do it. That way you have tangible and constructive activities to engage in while God is solving any challenges that you face as a couple. I'm almost finished, but these things are nuggets. Um, Also, pray together for each other and for your health of the relationship. For the family that prays together, stays together. I bet you that's what that couple of 84 years did too. There's not too many more. Chapter 24 is the nuggets, and then Angela gives her piece to it. He gives her his piece to it. Courtney, although our relationship takes place on the earthly level, by nature we are spiritual beings. When we work on ourselves spiritually, God solves our human problems for us. So seek counsel, especially spiritual counsel, for the challenges you face. And there's not too many more. Okay. Especially if in your childhood home you didn't witness an example of a relationship that you'd like to imitate. Find a couple you admire and use them as a relationship mentor or advisors. All right. Now, this is very important to me. In all your attitude, words like please, thank you, you're welcome, I'm sorry, you're right, forgive me, all go a long way. The golden rule still applies. So treat your partner like you want to be treated. Don't that sound incredibly simple? You know what I'm saying? Um, okay. All right. I'm gonna skip one. I'm gonna go to the last one. Oh, this is very important. So I'm gonna go to this. God cannot operate in an atmosphere of unforgiveness. When there is an impasse, someone has to apologize so God can enter into the situation and heal it. The relationship is worth whatever mud we get on our face when we humble ourselves and ask for forgiveness. And the last one to this 400-page book they wrote, it says, a good man is hard to find, people say in the Bible, as who can find a virtuous woman? It is easy to be the bad boy or bad girl. Society gives us a lot of encouragement for that. Few people will encourage us to be our best. So acknowledge that and keep striving. Be the persons that others will eventually look to as an example. Though it will be lonely and tough at times, that journey is part of the refining process. Keep the faith and persevere. Y'all need to get this book, okay? So for those, it's almost like going to a wedding counselor. And so that is the book. You can get it on Amazon. It was published back in 2007. The year after they had their twins, a boy and a girl, in 2006. All righty. So, okay, with that, I am now ready to take the comments, okay? And if you got any questions about your situations or whatever the name is, I will definitely know. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start back from the beginning. This is fun. All of you, thank you for bearing with me. My whole thing is I consider this the Live with Lloyd family. We need to be a family. We need to kind of stick together. We need to kind of have a sense of purpose and unity and solidarity amongst ourselves. The fact that our families are so fractured that we think we can do everything by ourselves. You cannot do that. Family is let me tell you, at the end of the day, family is what's happening. Okay. So it's very important. So let's start with Patrick. Now, Patrick is a water sign with a fire number. So see, I would have to tell him that based upon his numbers, it would be the 1, 4, 2, and 7. So therefore, the months of February, then June, July, and August would be important. In a minor way, April too. Now you would say, well, April is ruled by fire, which opposes the sign of Cancer. That's true. But his date of birth is the number 1. And as I told you, if you're born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th, your best months are February, followed by April, followed by August and November. And more than likely, one of his parents or a child or his lady or whatever the case is will probably be coming out of one of those months. All right. And so that's what I'm saying. And by the way, he's going to be entering a 7 personal year, which means it is about getting your spiritual house in order, my brother. Trust me on this. Okay. And Sister Maya, one of our regulars like Stephen and Carol Williams, thank you so much. And I ain't seen you in a while. Okay. All right, so let's go. My daughter says peace family. She always says peace family. Okay. Kamisha Swan, her birthday's tomorrow. So she is a water sign with a water number. That's easy. So therefore, you pick all the water periods, which is Cancer, which is Scorpio, which is Pisces. But because she's a 2, that means to me her best months would be March, water, May, earth, July, that's water, and October. Those would be the better months for her. Where she would do, or she would do well with people that are born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th to 21st, 24th rather, the 11th to 16th, the 20th or the 25th or the 29th of the month. All right. All right. Good. All right. This is my buddy, Stephen Williams. And thank you. He and Carol, I think they've been with me from Jump Street. Okay. 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago now. And I always acknowledge them as they always try to acknowledge me. And they will tell you, like my moderators, please get the thumbs up. Now, this is Regina Jones. Okay. She is a earth sign with a air number. See, and this is, so when you hear me doing this, this comes from that chart that I was showing you, that each number rules an element, each sign rules an element. So yes, she is an earth sign, which means very pragmatic, very grounded, very commonsensical, but she's an air number, which means she uses her reasoning and logic. And because 5 is ruled by the planet Mercury, it governs both Gemini and Virgo at the same time. So for me, I would say that your best friends will tend to come out of the months of May, June, especially September and October. And when I say that, you must allow the last several days. So it's late April into May, late May into June, late August into September, and late September into October. And that, Regina, would be the best. Or they will be born on the 5th or the 6th, the 14th to 15th, because 5s and 6s are like real tight. You know what I'm saying? Or the 23rd or the 24th of the month. This year for you coming up is a year where actually you're going to have to put in the work, but it seems the same time next year, moving forward for the next 2 years, that your star is going to rise because your key numbers are the 5, 6, and 9, and your best days are always on a Wednesday, Friday, and a Tuesday. Okay, so let me go back this way a second. All right. So Richard Samuels, okay, Richard, I'm at a disadvantage. You says, which will be my best zodiac and numbers will be the best match. You didn't give a birthday, but let me tell you what your name will draw to you. The name Richard, numerically speaking, under the Chaldean system, adds up to a 9. So that means your name will draw to you, sir. Those under the signs of Aries and Scorpio and Leo, or those who will come under the 1st or the 9th, the 10th or the 18th, the 19th or the 27th, or the 28th of the month. It also indicates your very strong will too. And because your name adds up to a 9, because oftentimes my experience has been from doing this so long, the name that we're given often reflects the zodiac signs of one of the parents. Okay. So that tells me, Richard, that more than likely one of them is likely to be, oh, okay, here's what he did. He gave me where's his birthday? Where's his birthday? There it is. Okay. So he is an air sign with an earth number, right? So with me knowing that, and I know, see, first of all, I got to establish in my mind what are his numbers. His numbers are the 8, 6, and 5. Therefore, January, followed by May and June, followed by September and October would be the best mates for him to find or he'll find that his best friends tend to come out of those times of the year. All righty. Or a date such as the 5th, the 6th, the 8th, the 14th, 15th, 17th, 23rd, 24th, and 26th of the month. However, on the reverse side of that equation, those who come out of the months of February, March, and August and December, or have a birthday that adds up to a 4 or a 3, such as the 3rd, the 4th, the 12th, the 13th, the 21st, 22nd, or 31st of the month, they would probably cause you a little drama sometime. Don't forget, we have to interact with everybody. But this will explain why some coworker can't get along with their supervisor. The supervisor can't get along with their coworker. A coworker can't get along with another coworker. A supervisor can't get along with another. I mean, there is so much interplay to these things, but having a basic understanding, and that's what my courses are about, to teach you to understand yourself. You can only be true to yourself, but the beauty of it is once you understand the nature of things, they have to be as true to themselves as you want to be as true to yourself. But you can't have it both ways. Everything's got to go my way, but it can't go your way. Because if everybody thinks like that, we're not going to get nowhere at all. All right. And by the way, Richard, it tells me you like older ladies too, which is none of my business. Anyway, okay. So, all right. So let's see. This is Tanisha. She is an earth sign with an air number, which means very pragmatic, which is earth, and thus attracting other earth signs of Capricorns and Virgos. And yet she's born on the 14th, which means she'll attract 5s and 6s, but her key numbers are the 5, 6, and 9. So therefore, her best months are April, May, June, followed by September, October, and November. And people that are born on the 5th, the 6th, the 9th, the 14th, the 15th, the 18th, the 23rd, 24th, or 27th of any month, okay? But she'll find that people who tend to give her stress, and they don't mean to, again, they have to be as true to themselves as you want to be true to yourself, will generally come out of those periods of February and March and August and December, or dates such as the 3rd or the 4th, the 12th or the 13th, the 21st or the 22nd, the 30th or the 31st of the month. But anyway, it indicates you don't look your age, and your life path is a 7, and you're heading into a 9 personal year. So this is your year to cut your losses. Now, this person here, Dr. Forco, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but anyway, this person is a water sign with a fire number. Now, this would be almost called bipolar because they will say, well, don't water cancel out fire and vice versa, or does it produce steam? Yes, but what happens is when you look at the numbers, her numbers or this person's numbers would be the 9, 3, and 6. So therefore, I would say that her best or this person's best months would be March, April, May, October, November, December. And on the reverse side of it, she'll find that the months of February, the month of June, the month especially of July and September will be a problem. And especially if that number adds up to the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th, the 11th, the 13th, the 14th, the 20th, the 22nd, the 23rd, the 29th, or the 31st of the month. They will be more problematic. But then you're heading into a cycle now where you're about to enter into an 11 or 2 personal years. So that means there may be some challenges ahead because the cycle you're heading into says to be patient. And 9 is not known for its patience. So you're not going to have too much of a choice of it. And the more you try to force it, the longer the delay will appear to be. But once you understand that, you'll be blessed. Okay. Alrighty. So, okay. Now this person is Chastity 11/11/1995. So that means that this person's key numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. So therefore, I know that the months of March and May, July, and October are more normally important to them, or they will be born on the 2nd, the 6th, the 7th, the 11th, the 15th, the 16th, the 20th, the 24th, the 25th, or the 29th of the month. And you'll find that those will be the people that are a little bit more compatible to you, where people that are born around April and your birthday month of November. This will explain why some months you'll be saying like, yo, this is supposed to be my birthday, but there's a lot of drama up in here, okay? Or you'll find that there'll be other months where everything is smooth sailing. But the year you're going into is going to be a year of expansion. A lot of things are going to open up, and you should take full advantage of that to enhance your name, your good name, your reputation, and broaden your contacts with people too. All righty. Let me go back a second. Let me go back. Okay. If I'm talking too fast, that's at New York City. Okay. Let me see my time. My time is good. My time is good. But I do thank all of you very, very much for taking the time. And let me see this. Okay. Okay, this is Dorothy. She says, I'm so sad that November 5th is a challenging date for Scorpios. Not really. Not really. Why? Because your key numbers, Dorothy Edwards, are the 5, 9, and 6. So that means your best months are April, May, and June, September, October, and November. So I don't know who told you that, but I would respectfully disagree. Okay. And if you look at people who do that, no. If you I will tell you this, the problematic periods for you would be the months of February, March, August, and December. Now that means people who come under the third or the fourth, the 12th, the 14th, the 21st, the 23rd, or the 30th of the month, they would be more problematic to you. Okay. Other than that, I don't see a problem. In fact, you're going into a relationship cycle, young lady. You didn't put the year you're in, but if you now, when I talk to women going into a 6 cycle like you, I said there are 3 doors that you're about to enter. Door number 1, if you're about to go into the year of 2024 with no one in your mix, all of that's going to change. Door number 2, if you're going into 2024 with somebody kind of hovering around you, you're on their radar, they're on your radar, and stuff like that. And if you listen closely, there's that talk like, I think this is going to go a little later, to the next level. That's door number 2. Door number 3 is you're going into the year 2024, but you're with somebody that's been working your nerves. By summertime, that thing is going to go south. Okay. So only you know what door you're about to enter into, Dorothy Edwards. Okay. But no. Your numbers indicate you will have multiple relationships through no fault of your own, because 5 is the sex number in numerology, and Scorpio is the sex sign in astrology. So with that being the case, I know you've always had people sweating you about one thing or another, which is also none of my business. But if so, hopefully that demystifies why always somebody sweating the system. Okay. And by the way, you will attract younger men too. Just as a footnote. Okay. All righty. Let's do this. Did I do Patrick Barr? Yes, I did Patrick Barr. July 10th. Yeah, that was the first one I opened up with Patrick. Okay, Patrick. All right, everybody. I can't read everybody, but I read Regina. Okay, I'm trying to. Okay. Now, Kamisha is somewhat like the one that's November 11th. She's a water sign with a water number. Well, actually, the 11 is composed of 2 fire numbers, so that's a little different than the one on the 11. But in your case, it tells me you can be super sensitive, Kamisha. It tells me a hug. I notice with 2s, don't forget, it's about emotions and feelings. So the 2 always need a hug. I jokingly say twice a day. You should get some sugar in the morning and some sugar before you go to bed at night from somebody up in there, or you'll find it a job. Because with the one thing, gentlemen, the one thing to understand about a 2 lady, normally as a rule, they're not high maintenance. You will bring them a rose, and it's almost as if it's a dozen roses. Not that they wouldn't want a dozen or 2 dozen, but that's the little things that count for number 2 women. So if you can keep that in mind, you will go a long, long way with the ladies. That's all. All right. So anyway, this year you're heading into a 3 year, which things are going to be expanding and opening up for you in a big way. You're heading into also a prosperity cycle, which means I would expect you to be making a little bit more money or a bigger amount of money than over the year or 2 previously. And you're going to be making with the right connections and the right networking to get you to the next step too. So it's going to be a year to have fun too and take chances. Queen L, she's born on Saturday the 4th. I don't know what number, but I'll say this. Just that number alone tells me your best months are always in February, June, and August, where your challenging months are always in January, May, and October. And it also tells me the numbers that would be close, that you just said the 4th would be the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st. However, on the stress side of the numbers, it would be the 6th and the 8th, the 15th, the 17th, the 24th, and the 26th of the month. All right. So that's all the information you gave me, Queen L. So that's all I can go on, dear. Okay. And Stephen wished Kamisha Swan happy birthday. Yep. Her birthday is tomorrow, I think. Or maybe I got. Oh, and Stephen is on Friday. Okay. Yay, Stephen. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday. That's water sign. Definitely Scorpio. Okay. That's good. That's good. And I think Carol is the Cancer, right? Anyway, I got so many birthdays in my head. Okay, Rasha is this is a fire sign with an air number. Now, these are elements that blend very well together. So fire means somebody that's passionate, got a lot of get up and go and energy. If you look at this person's air number, Rasha, that means they're like a lot of movement. 5 is a number of movement. It also tells me from your birthday that it's your birthday month, but it's not your sign yet. It's still Scorpio season, but because we just started, but by the end of the month, it'll be more of Sagittarius season, because that day is definitely under the sign of Sagittarius, November 23rd. However, though, you'll find that your best months, because once I know your numbers, I know your months, because each number rules a month. That's why I'm doing this so swiftly, because I know this stuff. So your numbers are the 5, 6, and 3. So what does that mean? That means that March, May, and June, September, October, and December are your best months. However, the 4 and the 8 are your stress numbers, which means that January, followed by February, followed by August are your challenging months, or they will be on the 3rd or the 8th, the 12th, the 17th, the 21st, the 26th, or the 30th of the month. You should take my course. It's on sale too. It really is. Now, it's going to take a little while to do it as I do, because I've been doing this for more than a New York minute. But the point is, you can do this too. All right. Anyway, happy birthday coming up at the end of the month. Okay. Okay. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is Regina Jones. Okay. Now, here's the case astrologically. They're both earth signs. She is a Virgo. He is a Capricorn. Well, he's borderlining. See? And what I mean is people born on the 20th. Always remember, people born on the 20th, 21st, 22nd are cusp children, as the phrase is in astrology, which means they got a foot in one sign they're about to leave and a foot in another sign they're about to go into. But the fact that you're relating to this person means there's a higher than average chance he's probably more of a Capricorn rather than an Aquarius. All right. So you'll have that in common. If your boyfriend is a Capricorn, his numbers will be the 2, 7, and 8, where yours is the 5, 6, and 9. And if he's an Aquarius, his numbers will be the 2, 7, 4, and 1. So actually, his Aquarius energy would go more with your birthday, to be honest. But at any rate, you'll be entering a 4-personal year. He'll be entering a 2-personal year. So he's going to be entering a relationship cycle. So around about late March, April, I expect him to step to the plate and say, like, yo, Regina, what we going to do, girl, with this relationship? So don't be surprised. All right. All right. What time is it? Okay, I'm doing good. I can't answer everybody. I'm going to try my best, though. This is Tanisha, the 4th of, I think I did read you. No, I'm not sure. Anyway, Tanisha is born, she's a Leo 4 person, and her key numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. What that tells me is that the months of February, the month of June, the month of August and September are always primarily important to this particular woman, as well as a date that adds up to the 1st, the 4th, the 5th, the 10th, the 13th, 14th, 19th, 22nd, 23rd, 28th, and 31st of the month. Okay? But it also tells me your problematic times, dear through no fault of your own, will always be the number 8, followed by the number 3. So therefore, January and March and December would be problematic. So let's say you gave a birth to a child in the month of March and you have problems with delivery with that baby. That would come as no surprise to me. Not that I would expect you to have problems, but we all have highs and lows in the scale of life in the year. And so March is one of your low points. Okay. In fact, I know a woman that's a Leo 4 that had her son and there was complications. In fact, they couldn't even find a heartbeat, but that's a whole nother story for another time. 4 women, when they have babies and stuff, have very interesting histories about the birth of their children. Anyway, so that's what I see for you. But this year coming up for you is going to be a year to have some fun, a year to expand. And because 3 is a problematic year, it means don't overdo, don't overindulge, and don't put yourself into a legal situation. What they say, don't let your mouth cash something, don't let your mouth say something that the cash can't check, the check can't cash, or something like that. That old saying. So that would be very important. All right. Okay. Now this is another 4 person, a female and a male. Okay. Here I'm looking at a water sign and a fire number. Right away, they would say, well, this don't match. Because why? Water is used to put out fire. Ta-da. However, this person is a water sign with an air number, which will complement the fire. And your Aries friend is a fire sign with an earth number that will complement your earth sign. So this is one of those contradictions. So if you look, they got all 4 elements. She's an earth sign with an air number. He's a fire sign. No, she's a water sign with an air number. He's a fire sign with an earth number. So you'll have all 4 elements of nature combined: earth, fire, air, and water, which I think is very, very interesting. Normally, as a rule, do 4s and 6s clash? I will kid you not. The major opposition, as a rule, numerically speaking, to the number 4 is the 6, and the major opposite. Now, that don't mean you call him up and kick him to the curb, but I'm saying that because don't forget, the numbers represent the mental connections that you have. So 4s are very conservative mentally. 4s are unconventional mentally. 6s mentally like to plan things. 4s mentally like to take a spontaneous approach to things. That's why they can be unpredictable or moody. So if you understand that, you can work through. There are always exceptions to the rule. In fact, President Bush, who was born on July 6th, his wife was born November the 4th. So that's a 6-4 relationship. So I don't care how you do it. I can always call exceptions to the rule. The point is, are you going to take the vow seriously, work through, as Angela Bassett and Courtney Vance book Friends, and work through that and, plan it. It's not that the Bush and his wife didn't have some drama, because 4s and 6s always have some drama. Not that you won't have some drama, but at least you'll understand why. And 4s are very convinced. And then he's an Aries too. But the one thing 4s and 6s have in common, they both slow getting out the door. I kid you not. They'll be rushing you, and they're the last one to get out the door. The 6 will be rushing you, the last one to get out the door. Go figure. Anyway, that they have in common. They're kind of slow getting out the door. So anyway, this is Miss Diamond. Has its moments adjusting, but look forward to the new beginning. It's definitely need to know that new can be beautiful. Yes, Miss Diamond, you didn't give your birthday. This one also says, what about the relationship of a 4 and an 8? Okay, this is a very good question, because of all the numbers that tend to be misunderstood by people in general, and doctors in particular. It's the number 4 and the number 8. Okay, these 2 numbers tend to be more misdiagnosed. And as I was explaining the other day, the 3rd leading cause of death to U.S. citizens in this country, other than heart attacks and cancer, is medical prescriptions and medical errors. And so you too would be more subject. 4s will often be attracted to 8s. 8s will always be attracted to 4s, although the rule is they should keep some space between them. Now, this famous writing duo for Motown, Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson, she was born on the 26th of August. He was born on the 4th of May. They were together until he transitioned this world. And they wrote some of the best hits for Motown during that period of the 60s and 70s, okay? So there are exceptions. That's why I'm saying there are always going to be exceptions. So you can't turn your man and say, boo, you heard what Lloyd said. You got to get up out of here. No. It's how you're going to work with it. For better or for worse, that is one of the original wedding vows. For richer or for poorer, okay? Not when you got a lot of money up in that piece. And in sickness and in health. Those are the 3 basic pillars that are often quoted when you're going down the aisle of marriage. So for better or worse, and notice that's what they say first, because there are going to be some good times, and there are going to be some times like, yo, man, I don't know what but we go through it. Welcome to reality. Only in the fairy tale, the Disney stories, that they live happily ever after. This is why people have a lot of drama, because we follow the fairy tales as against following real life's lessons. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna take one or two more. Okay. I'm gonna take Orlando. Orlando is a guy. Thanks, Orlando. He is a fire sign with an air number. Now, these two numbers are complementing each other. Okay, fire or air stimulates fire, and they work very well together. All right. So therefore, it tells me that when you first started out, Orlando, which is none of my business, you probably were drawn to older women. As you get older, they're going to become younger. And it also indicates that the secret to holding on to you, I would tell any lady that has an interest in you to let you go. Don't always be saying, where you going? At first, it's cute. Where you going, honey? What you going to do when you're coming back? To do that every day or on the regularly, you'll be gone. I can tell you that right now. But you are very mature. And by the way, he then put her birthday in. So they're both fire signs. See, he's a Leo. She is a Sagittarius. These are both fire signs. However, fives and eights normally clash because I'm looking at an earth number, which is an 8, and a fire number, which is a number 5. Okay. And so what that tells me is that fives love to take chances. Eights are very, very conservative. Five will think of five as a character in an action movie where they'll run out the window and just leap, because fives can be spontaneous. Now look at the 8. She'll run out. She'll run up the hall or something, but she's gonna leap before she looks. So she's more conservative. You're more spontaneous. She's more about getting structure and order to it, where spontaneity and variety and impulsiveness will sometime to you. And then with you, fire also. So she is a very serious-minded earth fire sign person. So, but don't forget, sir, she has to be as true to herself, Orlando, as you expect people to want to be true to yourself too. So you can't have it both ways. But she is very loyal, very intense, very laid back, where you can sometimes be all over the place. That's all I'll say. And I'll take one more. PDR. It says, what's up next year looking like? Well, first of all, you're going to be entering the year of the 7. What I did was I took the month, the day you're born, January the 15th, January the 25th, added it to the year 2024. I like this technique because you can go way in your past or go way up in the future that ain't even got here yet. And so all you got to do is take it. So you will be in a 7 personal year. I explained to my viewers that anytime your personal year is matching your date of birth, so not only will you be in a 7 personal year next year, you're also born on the 25th as a 7. So I'd expect you to go through a transitional phase in your life where it's very spiritual. You do a lot of soul searching. The law of attraction comes into play. So not chase after what you want, but draw to you through the law of attraction. As going to be a spirituality. This is when people go back to church, get reading, go to psychic fairs. Also, you have very interesting dreams, strange or prophetic, as they say. And it tells me you're going to spend even more time alone than you previously have. Okay, because 7s like to be their own best company. That's why you can't knock on their door and expect them, hey, how you doing? Stuff like that. They normally don't roll like that. They normally don't. So anyway, I'm over my time, but we'll get together on Monday. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank TJ for his donation. And again, for those of you who donate like M. Solomon, I do appreciate it. And I do say this, if you feel that you made a donation and I'm not reading you, I'm not ignoring you. I got so many people in my comment section. I can't, only when the show is over and I can read everything that I'll see. And I'm saying, so you don't feel cheated. If I don't read you, then you don't have to donate. But don't donate first, and I don't catch you, and you say, "Oh man, he didn't read me." But in this case, you're October the 3rd, so you are you are air sign with a fire number. So your numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. So March, April, and May, October, November, December are always your best months, and you tend to get along with people that are born on the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th, the 12th, the 15th, the 18th, the 21st, 24th, 27th, and 30th of the month. Okay. And the year that you're heading to is going to be big time because you're going to be in a 3 personal year. And like the other person born January the 25th, your personal year is going to match your date of birth. You'll be entering a prosperity cycle. It's ruled by the planet Jupiter, which you go to an astrologer. They want to know which house is Jupiter going to be in that year and whatnot. But enough of that, okay? So anyway, you're going to have a good, and thanks for the donation. That's the point. All righty. And if anybody else I missed, believe me, donations are not to be ignored. And I thank you also very much, Leah B, our ex Leah B, Dr. Leah B, I would imagine. So thank you very much for the donation. So let me tell you what's going on, folksies. First of all, I want to give thanks to this couple. It was this article that motivated me to do the piece on family series about best time to marry, best time to have children, how to be a good parent, how to understand your child, and things like that. I thank this couple here for doing that. I also want to also give congratulations to their 26th year of marriage this year, or 27, to Angela and Bassett and her husband, Courtney Vance. Although they're different signs, different elements, by numbers, they're elements. Her number matches his sign. His number matches her element, I should say. And by the way, please get this book. Okay, the book is great. It's a really great book. I just quoted near the end of the book in 300 and something. But she talks about her life growing up in Harlem, living between 135th, 136th Street, right across from Small's Paradise at that time, that now became Big Wilt, Little Smalls. It then became IHOP, came Apex Beauty Store. That location she talked about, born in 1958, took on a lot of faces since that time of her birth. Anyway, but please get the book and you'll see it. Today is the last day my course is on sale. It's one of the cheapest you can get. You can get all 3 courses for under $50. You will own them. And so, yes, I people say, well, you're good at this. Yes. Anytime you do something for decades, you got to be good at what you do. All right. I don't care what job or profession it is, but you got to get started somewhere. Okay. And I got started in New York City, which is one of the roughest places to get started, because New York is something else. That's all I can tell you. But please sign up for the course. Today is the last day to sign on for the course. You can get one, but at those prices, you should really invest and get all 3. You own them and take advantage of them. And as you know, today is the first day of November, and all of you should be getting your November newsletter in your email. And by the way, for those of you who do sign up, which is absolutely free, I repeat, I do not sell your email addresses. I don't play that. I don't like that done to me. So why should I do that to you? Now, if you're going to get anything, it's going to be about what I'm doing, like my app that I talk about. So you might see this on the email. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something I'm doing. Or you might see this in the email because I'm on TikTok now, which a lot of people like. But basically, it's about looking at your stars, seeing what's up in the heaven for you for this particular month of November, especially since there was an eclipse this past Saturday in the sign of Taurus, which means there's going to be an interesting transformation. All righty. So with that, there's much more, but I want to thank everybody very much. This has been enjoyable. I hope you got something from this. All I can say is thank you so much. I'm going to have, starting this month, brand new guests that you haven't seen before. Yes, I'm going to have some oldies but goodies too. I want to have Dominic on. I want to have Rebels Bay on, but I want to focus on beauty and health. Since we're going into the period where people be spending a lot of money between Thanksgiving and the Christmas holiday, so I want you to spread that money around. You know what I'm saying? To support these women that do this. I've got a woman from Canada who's going to be here, a woman from around the way who's going to be up here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So everybody, I want to thank you very, very much. This has been a beautiful day. All of you have a great, great weekend. Please take care of yourself, because as I say, if you don't take care of yourself, the question is who will? All righty. Have a blessed day.